Consent that all members would have 5 legislative days with which to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I might consume.
So ordered. You're recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I do rise again today in proud support of H.R. 203, the Clay Hunt SAVE Act. The bill was introduced by my good friend and a very important member of the Veterans Affairs Committee, Congressman Tim Waltz from Minnesota. I'm honored to join him and Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth from Illinois as an original co-sponsor of this legislation. I'm also grateful for the support of several of our military veteran service organizations, including the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, the Military Officers Association of America, and the Wounded Warrior Project. H.R. 203 is named after a true American hero, Clay Hunt. Clay was a Marine Corps veteran who served honorably in both Afghanistan and in Iraq, where he was wounded in battle. Clay returned home grappling with post-traumatic stress disorder, but refused to let his personal struggles prevent him from devoting his time to humanitarian work and advocacy on behalf of his fellow veterans. However, in March of 2011, at just 28 years of age, Clay took his own life. With an average of 22 veterans committing suicide each day, Clay was far from alone in his pain, and his family and friends are far from alone in their heartbreak and their loss. The last several years have seen significant increases in the Department of Veterans Affairs mental health and suicide prevention budget, their staff, and its programs. However, we have not seen a corresponding decrease in the number of our nation's heroes who take their own lives. What's more, for some groups of veterans, including female veterans and veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, suicide rates are actually getting worse. Mr. Speaker, we have got to do more to help these veterans access the supportive services and mental health care that they need to save their lives, and with the passage of H.R. 203, we will. To improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of VA programs and increase awareness of available services, H.R. 203 would require an annual third-party evaluation of VA's mental health care and suicide prevention programs, and it would require that VA publish an interactive website to serve as a central source of information regarding VA mental health services. To increase VA's capacity to meet the mental health care needs of our veterans, it would establish a pilot program that would repay education loans for individuals who have received a degree in psychiatric medicine and who agree to work at the VA for at least 2 years. To create a seamless transition from active duty to veteran status and increase community support for those in need, it would establish another pilot program to assist veterans during transition and require VA to collaborate with nonprofit mental health organizations in the community. And importantly, H.R. 203 would also extend an additional 1 year of eligibility for VA health care services for certain combat veterans who have not yet enrolled or whose 5-year combat eligibility period recently expired. Before I yield, I want to take a moment to once again express my condolences to Clay's family and to their friends, as well as the families and friends of our honored veterans who have lost their lives to suicide. I want to offer them my personal commitment to continue the aggressive pursuit to end veteran suicide. The passage of this bill today is just the first in what will be a continuing series of legislative and oversight efforts that our committee is going to undertake throughout the 114th Congress to improve access to mental health care for veterans in need, increase the efficiency and effectiveness of their mental health and suicide prevention programs, and increase meaningful partnerships with community providers who are often the first line of defense for their struggling veterans and the families of those veterans. This bill, which passed the House last Congress, will not single-handedly halt the scourge of veteran suicide, but it is an important step. And it is a step that we owe Clay and those like him who desperately need and certainly deserve our help. With that, I urge all of my colleagues to join me in supporting H.R. 203. Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves the balance of his time. The gentleman